Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. As you guys know, I normally film makeup reviews, which I absolutely adore, but we're going to switch things up for a minute and actually try to film a get ready with me. I was inspired by Nicole Chantel's recent get ready with me video, which I'm going to link for you in the description box below, as well as up here in the card section. It was just nice to watch her sit down, do her makeup, and just talk to me as a viewer, and I thought I would do the same because I don't often get to sit down and just talk to you guys and hang out, and we can do our makeup together, and that's kind of the point of this video. I also wanted to add a little bit of a twist to it because I really wanted to answer your burning questions about me. Of course, I took to Instagram, I posted a little post saying, ask me anything, and you guys submitted your questions, and I'm so excited to see all the questions that you guys submitted and to answer them. The other thing that's going to be a little bit different in this review, aside from this really long drawn out introduction, is that I'm going to be using all of my favorite products. I usually try a lot of makeup, but in my day-to-day routine I tend to gravitate for the same few items, and that's what you're going to see me work with here today. Without any further ado and no more introductory talk aside from saying subscribe, because you know you're here already, you've made it past this epic intro. I really hope you decide to hit that subscribe button and join the makeup family. Also, give this video a big thumbs up. My skin is ready to go. I did use some favorite products today. I've got my Shaba Complex Eye Serum from Drunk Elephant, which I absolutely adore, and I did run out, unfortunately, of my Tatcha Water Cream Moisturizer, which I have been obsessed with for the better part of a year now, but I have switched to another favorite of mine right now. This is the Laneige Water Bank Hydrating Gel. This is something that I absolutely love, especially when the weather is getting a little bit warmer, because it provides a really nice cooling sensation and my skin just feels really nice and hydrated after I apply this. So that's what I've used to prep my skin. I am going to go ahead and just use my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, because this is something I just can't live without these days. It is just so good at filling in my pores and getting my skin ready for foundation. While I let the primer sink in for a second, I am going to dive into the first question that you asked, and the first one actually comes from Italia Garcia, and her question is, what's your inspiration to do your videos? To film in general, I think for me is just a big creative outlet. I was in a job previously that was really stressful and very demanding, and I felt like my creativity was being stifled there, which sounds horrible to say, but I felt like I just needed another outlet to really sit down and let those creative juices flow, and I started to become really passionate with makeup, and so I thought, why not just start a YouTube channel and see what happens? So that's what I ended up doing, and I started reviewing makeup products and skincare and just chatting with all of you out there in internet land, and I'm so happy I pulled the trigger and did it. This has become truly one of the best creative outlets that I could have asked for. I come on here, I film really crazy eye makeup tutorials with super bright eyes, but then I also get to sit down and get a little more personal with you in Q&A videos, kind of like this one. And then I also hope I save you some money when I review some really crappy products that exist out there. I feel like I'm contributing to the greater good in some capacity. I'm gonna go into my foundation now, and of course I have to use my Dior Backstage foundation. Mine is in the shade 1.5N, and this is the one that I use every single day. I find it so easy to blend out. It has really good staying power, especially if I set it well, and the coverage is exactly what I need for day-to-day wear. So this one here is one of my absolute favorites, and if you guys have been around my channel for a long time, you know I love a good Dior foundation. As I finish my foundation, I'm gonna jump to the next question, which comes from Italia Garcia again, and she asks, how did you feel when making your first video? Oh god. I don't know if you guys have actually seen my first video. I remember it very vividly. It was 3 years ago as of March 14th when I posted my 3-year giveaway video. And I was so nervous. Guys, I used to present for a living. Get me in front of an audience, give me a microphone, and I can talk your ear off. But there was something about being filmed and uploading this to the internet that was so intimidating. And I remember being incredibly nervous because I had never edited a video in my life. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and the only program I had to use was for my MacBook, which was my iMovie, and that is the software I still use to this day. And so when I was filming, I remember just being so incredibly cautious of how I was saying certain things because I didn't know if I'd be able to cut and paste and move things around and make sure the video sequence made sense. So I made sure to film sort of in one shot so I would have to do as little as possible in the editing process. Oh God, I go back and I watch that video and I just cringe now. From foundation, I typically go straight to powder to set everything down, and then I'm on my merry way. But when I notice I have quite a bit of darkness underneath my eyes, or I've got some acne scarring or just acne that's coming up that I want to cover up, I then go in with my concealer. And I am seeing a little bit of darkness underneath my eyes today, so I'm going to conceal using my L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I've got mine in the shade 360 Cashmere. And this is what I'm going to use to just get rid of some of that darkness, you know? I have to look like a presentable human being some days. Just as I blend out my concealer, I'm gonna go over to Cajun Baby 40's question, also known as Sherry. How you doing, Sherry? And her question is, if you could only have one eyeshadow, a palette, highlighter, bronzer, etc. for the rest of my life, what would it be? Oh my God. I don't know if I can actually narrow it down. That is really, really hard. For eyeshadow palettes, I'd probably want something that would be neutral enough to get me through my normal days, because to be honest, I don't wear super colorful makeup to work or when I'm going on a date or when I'm just out and about or simply hanging around the house. I only do that when I'm feeling creative and I just want to do something a little more fun. I guess if I had to pick, I would probably say the... I might regret this answer later, but right now it feels right. The Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I really, really love how neutral it is. I love how wearable all of the shades are. And it is the palette I took when I went to Europe for a couple of weeks back in October. It was just a great palette to have. I'm gonna go in pretty quickly with my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder so I can set that concealer. But for bronzer, I'm actually going to be using my favorite Ride or Die. I'm actually going to I'm getting that in my mouth. Say the Marc Jacobs Tantastic bronzer. This one here is absolutely phenomenal. Ever since I purchased it, I have been using it every single day. I just love how gigantic the pan size is. There's so much product. It looks flawless on your skin. It blends like a dream and it smells really good too. That is probably the bronzer that I would use and abuse pretty much for the rest of my life if I had to pick. And I also love that it's got a gigantic mirror in it. And you guys often see me using this palette in my videos when I need something to look at when I'm doing my makeup, because the mirror is a pretty generous size. So that's what I would say for bronzer. If I had to pick a highlighter, I don't know. That one is really, really hard because, to be honest with you, I don't use highlighters on a regular basis. I am someone who has a lot of texture on my skin, and I feel like some highlighters really tend to highlight that for obvious reasons. So I tend to steer clear of highlighters for the most part. However, I'm not opposed to a really nice subtle glow, and the highlighter palette that I would say I'd probably use for the rest of my life if I had to pick would be the Hourglass one. Hang on a second. It's this one here. I picked it up a couple of years ago from Sephora when they were releasing all of their limited edition holiday stuff, and I love Hourglass. I love their ambient powders, and this one here would allow me to try a few different ones and I don't know, see if I really enjoyed the formula. This is the ambient lighting powder. Dim light, incandescent light, and radiant light are all included in here, and I just love the softness of these powders. When they apply this beautiful subtle glow. It makes your skin just look radiant without really over highlighting it, because I don't like the wet sort of highlighter look. I like the more of a glow from within type look. The next question I have comes from Italia Garcia again. Thank you so much, girl, for asking all these questions. Her next question asks, what's your secret to being so happy? Oh god, a lot of alcohol. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually not much of a drinker, which a lot of people find fascinating, but I might have a glass of wine here and there, maybe a nice cocktail if I'm going out, but I don't drink. What's my secret to happiness? I don't know. I don't think I really have one. I just try not to sweat the small stuff, and I think you eventually get to a point in your life where you just say, fuck it. I always have this analogy. I use this a lot at work, and for my friends who really know me, I always talk about my totem pole of priorities. What is at the top and what is at the bottom. And for the most part, the most tedious of things end up being at the bottom of my totem pole, and I try not to pay a lot of attention to them. I only focus on the things that bring me happiness. I don't want to be around things that bring me down or that don't really matter to me. I feel like I'm in such a good place right now where I have really good people around me, my friends, my family. I guess they keep me happy. It's the people around me. But seriously, don't sweat the small stuff. That's what I would say is probably the key to happiness. I am gonna do my brows off camera because they are incredibly boring to watch, and I'm gonna be right back. Brows are on, and I did use my absolute favorite brow product, which is my KaBrow from Benefit. This is in the shade number 3. I absolutely adore this pomade. I think it just goes on so well. I always use this little dinky applicator because I feel like it just gets right in there and helps me carve out a really good shape. Love, love, love this. Gosh, and I think I've had this for about a year and a half now, and I have barely gotten through about a quarter of it. So a little bit of this product goes a long way, my friends. Just before we go on to eyeshadow, I'm going to go to another question, which comes from Italia Garcia, and she asks, did you imagine coming this far when you first started? And I'm assuming you're asking when I first started YouTube. And the answer is no. I had no idea where I would be when I started YouTube. I just thought it was going to be a lot of fun to pop on here and film some videos and put it out into the universe and see what happens. For me, it was just a lot of fun. I didn't know how it was going to be received, but I'm so glad I did because I have met so many incredible people in the beauty community and outside of it through YouTube, and it has been such an amazing journey, and I'm so happy to be on it. The next question comes from Cajun Baby 40, also known as Sherry, and Sherry asks, would you ever do makeup for people as a paid profession or free, and which one would I do? Just before I answer the question, I'm going to be diving into my Anastasia Prism palette today. I don't know why, but I'm really feeling these colors at the moment, and I think I'm going to start off by going into Unity, and then in answer to Sherry's question, I'm not sure that I would ever choose this as a paid profession. I don't think my skill level is anywhere near what a professional makeup artist would be at. I don't share the same creativity that a lot of professional makeup artists have. I have a couple of friends who are professional makeup artists, and it looks like a really fun job, but it is so incredibly stressful, and the kit that you have to keep up is just extraordinary. To be honest, I just enjoy doing my own makeup and having fun with it. I doubt I would ever turn it into a professional career. The next question comes from Mediterranean.ilove, also known as Tanya, and she asks, what's the place you would love to see the most? Oh my goodness, this is such a good question. There are so many places in the world that I would love to travel to, and if you guys watched any of my vlogs from Europe back in October, I think I hit a lot of the places that I've always wanted to visit. Rome was huge on my bucket list. That is a city I have always wanted to visit, especially since I studied it for so many years in school, and I was so happy when I finally got to walk along the same ancient roads that all of the ancient Romans walked on. It was incredible. What a feeling. So that was something I was able to cross off my bucket list. But if I had to pick a place right now that I would really love to visit, I don't know if it's just one place, but I definitely want to go to South America. I think there are so many amazing countries, cities, nature trails to visit. I would love to go to Peru, maybe hit up Machu Picchu. I'd love to visit Argentina at some point. I'd love to go to Brazil, obviously see Rio. It would be ideal if I could go for Carnival, but I doubt I could afford that. But yeah, I think South America would definitely be at the top of my list. My girl Nicole has the next question. So this is Nicole Chantal 32 on Instagram. Her question is, what makeup artist would you love to meet? There are several that I would love to meet, but I think as many people would probably love to meet him, at the top of my list is Mario. I have such a deep found, ooh, that is pigmented, good lord. I think many people have a lot of respect for him and the artistry that he brings forward. I love how he just kind of started off small and then eventually grew into this gigantic artist who now has, you know, very signature looks. Plus, I would just love to see his makeup kit. I think it would be so incredible to just take a deep dive into all of the stuff he uses. I think it would be magnificent. I am going to attempt a cut crease. I've got a little bit of the Infallible concealer on the back of my hand, and while that is still tacky, I actually want to go in with this beautiful color over here. It's sort of bronzy orangey with pink glitter. I like it. That's about all I have to say. So taking this Morphe M210 brush, I'm just gonna pat some of that product on top. I've got a little bit of product on my brush, and I'm just gonna spritz it with some Fix Plus because I want it to be super metallic and glittery. Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, child. You guys see this? Oh, I'm obsessed. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next question, which comes from Makeup by Nishi, and she asks, which is your favorite brush brand? That is a really good question, and if you had asked me this maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, I would have a very different answer from what I have right now. And to be entirely honest with you, I used to love Morphe brushes, like hardcore Morphe brushes. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'd say 75% of what I own does actually come from Morphe. And it's still a really good brand, don't get me wrong, but I have such a deep found appreciation right now for Wayne Goss brushes. These are the ones that you've probably seen me use throughout this video and throughout the last several videos that I have posted. There is just something about these brushes, the way they're crafted, how soft the bristles are, how they always keep their shape, and just how well they blend out shadows. It is phenomenal, and I don't think I can really use any other brushes now to achieve the looks that I'm able to create. So right now it is Wayne Goss brushes. I'm quickly gonna finish the other eye off camera, and I'm gonna be right back. I think I did my best to match the two eyes together. I'm really enjoying how this turned out. I think what I need to do next is go into my powders and get rid of all of the bake that's left on my face. And to do that, I am going to be using my good old faithful MAC Studio Fix powder. You guys know I use this almost every single day, and I probably use this in every single video, and I use the same brush, which is this IT Cosmetics, I don't know, fluffy powder brush. I love to just dig into this powder and basically go all over my face to not only wipe away the bake, but to set any foundation that has not yet been set. And this powder, I swear guys, is the best one that I have ever used. A really close dupe to this is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir powder. I think that one is a very, very close second, but you get far more product in this particular pan than you do in that one, and I think in the long run this actually ends up being more affordable. This looks so good. I am loving this canvas right now. Guys, I'm sorry if you can hear ambient noise in the background. The vacuum cleaner is currently on because my dad had an accident in the shower today. Instead of keeping the water inside of the bathtub, he decided to just spray it all over the bathroom instead. So my mom is completely anal about keeping things super clean and organized, and so she is out there right now trying to clean up his mess. I want to finish off my lower lash line, and I'm actually just going to go into this color down here called Throne. It is a beautiful duochrome color. It's got these really nice sort of teal properties, but then it's also got a shift to purple. I'm not sure if that's translating on camera really well, but damn, that is my kind of color. And as I'm doing that, I'm gonna read the next question, which does come from Taylor. Taylor is a really good friend of mine, and she says, I should just be featured. Ha 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 ha. And yes, I think you should be featured. So Taylor, whenever you are ready, come on over. You are always welcome to be in one of my videos. And then I've got a great question from April Lynn Wen, also known as just April. She is wonderful. She's actually a subscriber of mine that has been with me, I think, pretty much since the beginning. April, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you were in my first 100 subscribers, give or take somewhere around there. Anyhow, she asks, do you have any bad habits? I certainly have bad habits. I don't know if I should actually be putting that out into the universe. I guess one of my bad habits is probably not being able to take a compliment really well. I have a very hard time doing that. I tend to deflect. Basically, somebody could pay me a compliment and I will thank them, but then I will put myself down in some other capacity, or while thanking them, I'll find a way to not accept the compliment. You know what I mean? I think that's a pretty bad habit of mine. And the other bad habit I have, which actually drives my family members bonkers, is leaving dirty dishes in the kitchen sink. I swear, I really try to stay on top of it, but sometimes when I come home from work, it's been a really long day, and the last thing I want to do is wash dishes after dinner. And I do eventually get to them, but I don't mind leaving a sink with some dirty dishes in it. That is a pretty bad habit of mine, and I constantly get called out for it at home. April's next question is, who is your favorite YouTuber? So someone who has more than 1 million followers, and then someone who has more than 250,000 followers. That's a good question, and I think for the big YouTubers that exist out there, I'm gonna start with the one who's got less than 1 million, and that one is pretty easy for me because I absolutely adore her in every capacity. I love how vulnerable she can be on camera, and I also love how she just calls it like it is, and she is so good at makeup. She can make just about any product work, and I envy her for that. Raw Beauty Christie is the one that I absolutely adore. And in terms of the YouTuber who has more than 1 million followers or subscribers, I mean, if I'm thinking beauty YouTubers, I actually really like Tati. I think 90% of the time I really enjoy her videos, but for the most part I think her content and her consistency is phenomenal. And then if I'm just thinking general YouTubers that I instantly click when their videos come up, Sophia Nygaard. I think she is amazing, and she's got really fresh content. She makes fun of herself. She does really crazy cool things, and I also think her videos are really well researched, and they're just very entertaining to watch. The production quality is also quite high, which makes them pretty easy to watch. The next question comes from Tanya L. Brown 9669, and she has a two-part question. The first is, what do you do for a living? And that is a great question. I don't often talk about work on YouTube because, I don't know, I just think it's my thing outside of YouTube land. I guess it just never really had a place in a makeup channel. By the way, I'm using a Tom Ford eye defining pen. This is my absolute favorite liner. So I would say, sorry, I didn't realize I can't talk and do eyeliner at the same time, so just give me a second. My job is actually at a local university where I help students find jobs. So I work in career services. I am a bit of a career coach slash employer relations person. So essentially what I do is I build relationships with employers who are local to the area and are looking to hire recent graduates, and I also work with students to get them ready to make that transition between the classroom to the workplace. Oh, by the way, for mascara, I use my good old faithful Essence, the False Lashes Mascara, Dramatic Volume Unlimited. For false lashes, I'm actually going to be using these Velour lashes. Velour lashes have been some of my favorite, and I also love that they are a Canadian brand. I don't know if they've sold to an American company yet, but as far as I know, they're Canadian. And the ones I have are called Whispie Me Away. I love how they sort of flare out. Those are my favorite types of lashes, and they're a little bit shorter on the inside, and those tend to work for me because I do have hooded eyes. As I put those lashes on, I'm going to answer Tanya's second question, which is, how is the new relationship going? This question really pains me to answer because as amazing of a person as he was, and genuinely he was such a good guy, had a lot of the qualities that I was looking for in a life partner, but I realized that we were just fundamentally different in some areas that I just couldn't really compromise on, and so we are unfortunately no longer together. I do value his friendship, and I hope that we can maintain some type of friendship outside of the relationship, but yeah, so I am no longer in a relationship. The next question comes from Just Jillian 89, and she asks, is your day job makeup or beauty related? Love your videos. Thanks, girl. No, unfortunately my job is not makeup or beauty related. It does deal with people though, so I guess in a way it kind of is related, but not really. The subject matter of what I typically talk about at work is very different from that of YouTube and what I do here, but I work with students one-to-one for the most part, and I help prepare them for their future careers once they graduate from university, and that has been so incredibly fulfilling and exciting for me, and I love seeing the aha moments that they have where, you know, they finally understand where they want to go, or, you know, when they get the call from the employer to say they've been hired, and, you know, they call me to say, oh my god, I just got a job offer, I'm so excited, and, you know, that makes me feel really good, and, you know, I'm sure the students also feel incredible. So unfortunately what I do is not related to makeup or beauty, but it is definitely satisfying for me. And the last question I have here does come from Shocker. Shocker is actually somebody, oh, I love him. We went to university together, and he and I used to work on campus together. He was such an incredible colleague and friend. I love him to pieces. He is an incredible author now. He travels around the world. I'm gonna link all of his socials in the description box below, as well as all of the books that he has published, which you can find on Amazon. Please go check him out. He is phenomenal. He actually asks me, what's the one makeup item you cannot live without? And that is a darn good question. And I think the one makeup item I can't live without is powder. I would probably say my MAC Studio Fix powder is the one staple that I always need to have in my bag, regardless of what I have on my face and where I am. I feel like I could just get away with using just this powder on no makeup days, or if I do have makeup, I always need to set it with a powder, otherwise I'm just gonna look absolutely disgusting. So for me, the one thing I cannot live without is powder. We just have a few more things to do on my face, and I am gonna go in and bronze now using my favorite Marc Jacobs bronzer. I'm just gonna get these cheeks all warmed up and looking fabulous. The next thing I'm gonna do is add my blush, which is this one right here from Becca. This is the one that I have been using over and over and over again right now. I don't know what it is about it, but I just love the way it looks on my skin at the moment. This one here is in the shade Flowerchild. I love that it's a nice light pink. It's really great for spring at the moment, and it has a little bit of sheen to it. So when I wear this blush, I feel like I don't really need to apply any highlighter, so I don't. But as you guys can see, super pigmented, and it's got just a beautiful shine to it. I love it. And lastly, I think all I need to do is put on a lipstick, and I actually don't have a single brand that I have been using every single day at the moment, although, hold on a second, there is one that I am really in love with whenever I need a nude lipstick, and that's this one here from Patrick Starr and MAC. It's their Floral Realness collaboration. This one here is in Sweet Mama Star. I love this as a nude lipstick. It also has that signature MAC vanilla scent, which I adore. I think if I were to pick one lipstick, it would probably be this, but I like so many different formulas out there. There's not a single one that I sort of gravitate towards, but I guess for this particular look that I've got going on here, I am going to be using this bullet lipstick from A Dose of Colors. It's called Aftermath. This was one of the lipsticks from the Desi and Katie collaboration, actually. So I'm gonna put this on, and I love that it's sort of this really nice burnt nude color. Yes, there we go. I feel like the look is complete, and I used all of my favorite products. I answered all of your incredible questions. The only thing I kind of need to do right now is let my hair down, zoom you out a little bit, and and share with you this look. I am so happy with how this look turned out. I feel so glamorous and fabulous. I really should be going out at the moment, but I'm probably just gonna wipe this off and go to bed, unfortunately. After I take several pictures though, after I document. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. I had such a great time filming this video, sitting down, chatting with you, sharing all of my favorite makeup products, and also answering your questions. If you have any other questions that you guys want me to answer, leave them in the comment section below and I will do my best to respond to everybody. And if there happens to be a lot of questions, then I'm just gonna film another get ready with me video and answer them there for you. Thank you again so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you guys know exactly what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and follow me on all of my social media so you guys never miss out on any of my updates / new uploads. I hope you are all having a truly magnificent day no matter where you are in the world. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!